Kyler Staley from Hoosier.com. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Cannot complain. Charlie Miller, of course, with us as well.
How you doing, Colin?
Doing good. Doing good.
Not a lot to talk about from this past weekend as far as the AAU action. The only thing really is we were just discussing the invite from Trace Jackson Davis to the Combine. But there have been offers that have continued to go out for Indiana. They're continuing to recruit the 2023 and 24 classes.
Yeah. I think obviously there wasn't any AAU ball, any major AAU ball this past weekend. But the big thing that came out of kind of late last week was the two visits that they had with the 2023 guys. Jonathan Powell from Wildcat Select playing with Gabe Cupps next year. And then they also had a visit from Travis Perry from Indiana Elite. And then they offered Jonathan Powell, but there is no offer from towards Travis Perry yet.
Is that the kid from Kentucky?
Yes. Yep.
Eddyville. He's down there by the prison. Western Kentucky. Not a lot of players come out of there. Not a lot of players at all that get Indiana offers. Rarely does that happen. You go to Miami before you go to Kentucky, right, Charlie?
That's a good one.
Oh, man. But so with not the weekend off, everybody kind of catches their breath, but it picks back up in earnest next weekend, doesn't it?
Yeah. They've got the Adidas May Classic coming up this weekend. There's also a prep hoops event going on. The Adidas will have all the Indiana Elite guys, so we'll see Flory Badunga, Cooper Koch, Riley Burgess, and Travis Perry, and then of course you got JQ Roberts on the 17 U team. So we'll get to check all those guys out again.
Can't wait to do that. Charlie, you're luckily for you though, yours is more like a camp setting. So you don't slow down at all, do you?
No. I mean, my slow period may be about 90 days. If I really think about it, about a 90-day reprieve, and then you're back at it. And so kind of, that's the path I chose. It's more player development. Not necessarily AAU. Not saying it's wrong or right, but I'm still on the court. That's what I love about it, guys. I'm still on the court. Like, I'm coaching, from within, man. And that's, sitting on the sidelines is great, but right now it's still boring to me. It's hard just to watch. I want to get out there and get a rep or two, right? I want to sweat, man. It's nothing like sweating with players. So yeah, so that's just kind of, the path I chose, and that bug may change, but man, I can only imagine being in the gym watching all those games, and sometimes those games are not that flattering, Kyler.
No, I mean, yeah, really, it's really hit and miss sometimes. Like if there's a blowout or something, there's only so much you can see out of a player when you're scouting them. If the score differential's 40, so it really is hard. It's hit and miss, but when you do get those really good games, the ones that come down to the last 2 minutes, that is fun. That's what makes AAU really, really fun.
Yeah.
I tell you who's not having fun right now is Evansville. They are without a basketball staff, and kind of an odd time to do it.
What?
They fired Todd Licklider last week and the entire staff, which I found a little surprising. Kyler?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of just a weird time that you did that. Like, you had all these months, to do that. I mean, the basketball season's been over with for quite some time now. It's just kind of why now? Why now did you choose to fire your coach and the whole coaching staff?
Yeah, odd time, Charlie. Puts it. Especially, it came right after the end of the transfer portal, didn't it?
Yeah. Luckily, those players do have another month to transfer, so at least they have that.
There is that, but just something close by that's going on. But it's funny. One name that we have not heard that we heard Tom Crean thrown about last week, Charlie, for that job. But one name that has not come up, Dane Fife.
I don't know. I'm still a mystery, man. I don't know if it's something we can talk about, but I'm still kind of puzzled as to what happened with us with Dane. Yeah. I mean, I don't like. I'm not like calling around. You know, I don't want to be, the nosy person to get the inside scoop. At the same time, it's still a mystery to me. I'm just looking at body language in some games, and he's not even getting off the bench, and just seemed like it was a distance. I really didn't hear from him that much. Impressors, I don't know. I mean, I'm torn. I'm just torn because there's a personal relationship that's there, and you want to see all your guys successful, win, and whatever it might be in whatever capacity, especially when you're talking about coaching in college. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
And I hadn't thought about it until you mentioned that, but not the rift is not the right word, but in the efforts of bringing everybody back together as far as the former IU guys, is this one of those things that kind of makes it a little more difficult for that to happen when because Dane's got a lot of buddies and friends and that he played with and whatnot. That era, that group of guys, that kind of makes maybe the relationship with IU not as strong, I guess.
Well, I'm laughing a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because it was all fanfare beforehand. Dane's coming home. Dane, the drive back to Bloomington, and now it's like, okay, he's gone. Crickets on tumbleweed, and now it's like, the heck happened? What the heck? I'm like, can we get some inside scoop? Can you let us know what happened? Or is it just we looked the other way? It's just like this world of recruiting, freaking marketing, man. Everything is great in the beginning. Now you have some differences of opinion or whatever. It's like, let's just settle our differences. The PC way. Bob that era, I'm more than certain we probably would have figured out a long time ago. This ain't gonna work. He's gonna be a half season, and I just wish him the best. And no more questions.
Exactly. That's how that's going to go. Michael asking, where are AAU games this weekend and can the public attend? Kyler, there's a couple events going on this weekend in the Indianapolis area. That is the Adidas May Classic. Where is that taking place?
So from what I looked at, it's pretty much all around the Fishers area. So you've got like Best Choice Fieldhouse, and then over at Finch Creek in Noblesville. I think Fishers High School is hosting a few games as well.
So it must be a lot of teams, and if you got three different venues.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the rosters and the teams haven't been announced yet, so that'll come later on this week. But as far as the venues, that's what I've seen so far. They're just around the Fishers, Noblesville, Carmel area.
But the public can attend those events. They can just go in and watch. I'll tell you, it's not like it's a high school gym with tons of seating room. There's not a lot of seating.
Right.
And you imagine you've got tons of coaches, tons of parents there. Although the coaches have their own area to sit in, it's still not a lot of seating areas. Think about that. Also this weekend, the Prep Hoops Havoc in the Heartland. Where and what is that?
So it's just kind of going on the Prep Hoop circuit that they have. So I'll help out a little bit with them this weekend. As far as teams and everything, I don't know as far as any Indiana recruits that are going to be there yet. It's going to be more low level, Division II, Division III players. But the big one's going to be the Adidas May Classic, and that's going to have, the Indiana Elite guys, all those Indiana Elite style teams will be there.
And who are some of the names? Cups usually plays in that circuit, right?
Yeah, I think he's going to be here. And then you'll also, like I mentioned earlier, you'll have the Indiana League guys with Flory Badunga, Cooper Koch, Riley Burgess, Travis Perry, and then that's the 16U team. And on the 17U team, you've got JQ Roberts. Trying to think of who else. Jaron Tibbs, Jake Davis. So you've got those guys up in that level.
Lots of talent, man. Lots of talent. It seems like it just gets tougher every year, Charlie, to differentiate because these coaches have to go in and spot the talent. And it's not the talent that you spot; it's the potential talent that you spot.
Yeah, I mean, and just like anything else, I remember talking to a head coach in college several years ago, just because again, I just wanted to get, I'm on the other side now, not as a player, not as a prospect. What are you looking for in a player, say early spring, late summer? I want to see the player get better. Players will have bad games. That's fine. I want to see a difference in basketball IQ, mannerism, character, not having a good game, how they're going to respond on the bench. Are they interested? I want to see that. And I think because of all these games, it's so hard. I mean, and Kyla, you may know better than I do, but to me, it's so hard to understand, to see consistency because you're playing so many games. I mean, you only have so much mental and physical capability as far as um, endurance, both ways. But again, just the consistency of players that seize the moments of opportunities, to see the difference of the unseen out, setting a key screen, getting a crucial block, taking a charge, right? Energizing the bench, not playing a great game. To me, I think that's what people want to look at the majority of the time. Because you've already got your guys slated. You're going to see certain people you've already validated, validated. You're going to go look at these players, qualify them. Now I want to see him in action. Is he who we think he is, and can he fit our culture? Can he grow into what we want him to be? 3-4 years from now. So you're right on, Jim. To me,
And now it's changed so much, Kyler, with the transfer portal. But Indiana is really, it seems like their recruiting has not changed as far as your organic, typical recruiting of the high school kids. They're out there recruiting kids that are still 3 years away from graduating. So that is grassroots recruiting there that they have continued, where some teams probably don't start looking at kids until later in their career, or just look at the portal.
Yeah, I think for Indiana's case, you've got a good balance. They have looked in the transfer portal, but they are still recruiting the high school level. There's some colleges out there now that are strictly only in the transfer portal now, and then there's some that are still just strictly on the grassroots level. But Indiana, from what I've seen, they have really they've got a good balance going on, and they're really sticking with the homegrown talent. Like the Jalen Harrelsons and the Trent Sisleys and stuff, and really building that relationship. But they're also, being active in the transfer portal, when you see with like Dexter Dennis and seeing people that can come right in and fit into their system.